Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Really nice to meet you. Nice to see you again if you're back from next week. And welcome to Gallery Teachers English Masterclass. My name is Andy Russell. And today we're going to talk about law, morality and ethics. Quite a big topic today. To get us started, I'd like everyone to make a brief introduction in the chat room, including your name, what you do, and why you're learning English. When you're typing into the chat room, please make sure you set your responses to everyone. Otherwise, only the teacher can see your messages. If this is your first lesson with us, recordings of previous sessions can be found in the Masterclass section of the website. This lesson is also recorded, and the recording will be available after 7 days. You can watch all of our past Masterclass lessons and join unlimited speaking club meetings, unlimited, it's incredible, with our open learning membership. Your video and mic will be switched off throughout the lesson. We do, however, want you to participate in some activities or to ask questions and share your English learning experiences. And I certainly want as much involvement as possible. So please click on the raise hand button to participate and have your video and mic ready. You can also use the Q&A window to ask your question. Remember also, be nice. It's a big public forum with lots and lots of people, so be nice. And if you do come in to interact with me, make sure you're in a quiet room, okay? Because I know some of you will have cats and babies making lots of noise in the background. So with that, if everything's clear, we shall begin. So let me share my screen with you. Fantastic. Okay, thank you, everybody. It's always worth checking before I get halfway through the lesson. Okay, law, ethics and morality is a big topic. This is what we're going to aim to do. First of all, we're going to see 4 people and we're going to decide who should go to prison. So it's quite a meaty start to the lesson. We're going to match some crimes and definitions, and we're going to ask the important question, is grammar a crime? With some modals of obligation, and we're going to look at some rules and laws. We're going to look briefly at the question, because it's very topical at the moment, can free speech be a public order offence? Then we look at some crazy laws, which will be really, really good fun. And then we'll look at the question of law versus ethics versus morality versus religion. Ethics in the workplace, morality, and if we have time, we'll do something called scruples, which we'll talk about later on. Just a note on, this is a very tough topic to discuss in this kind of environment, right? Because you're all from different countries with different cultures, different laws, different backgrounds, different beliefs, different religions, different everything, right? So important thing to remember, this is an English class, okay? So anything I say today, it's really to help you, to help elicit language, to help you develop your language. It's not necessarily what I believe or necessarily what gallery teachers believe. So don't, get too upset if I say something a bit controversial. It's probably just to get some good language out, okay? I'm sure you trust me anyway. Okay, here's a question to begin with. Who should go to prison and what should happen to the others? Okay, so we have Tim, Beth, Morag, and Helen. Tim's a man, Beth, Morag, and Helen are women. So who should go to prison? Just type in the chat box. Tim, Beth, Morag, or Helen. Who should go to prison? Gabby says Tim. Why, Gabby? Should all men go to prison, Gabby? Is that what you're thinking? Oh, Gabby, come on, dear, oh dear. The truth is, we can't really send Tim to prison just because he's a man. I know you're joking, Gabby, don't worry. We need more information, right? So you want to find out what they have done, what crime they've committed, okay? I don't know. Ahmed, that's the correct answer. We don't know because we don't have enough information. Let me give you some more information. Tim killed a man. Beth watched a friend's box set whilst working from home. Morag jumped the queue in McDonald's, and I'm sorry, I've changed her name this morning and I forgot to update this, so let me do that now. Morag jumped the queue in McDonald's. And Helen, who's a Christian, she spoke the name of another god. Okay, so 4 separate incidents, 4 separate offenses. Who should go to prison now? Oh, Gabby says she was correct. Yeah, maybe, Gabby. Maybe not. Maybe not. You see, Gabby, what if Tim killed a man in self-defense? What if somebody was attacking him or his family and he killed someone in self-defense? Should he go to prison then? What if he's fighting in a war and it's his job to defend his country? Ahmed, it depends on situation. It depends on the situation. Yeah, absolutely. It always depends. It always depends. None of these things are ever really black and white, right or wrong. There's always some kind of element of some area of grayness, we could say. It's not just black and white, shades of gray as well. So, but Tim, okay, he's got a knife. Yeah, looks like he should probably go to prison. What about Beth? She watched her friend's box set whilst working from home. Prison or freedom? Or something else? If you think something else, type in the box. She's supposed to be working. She's getting paid, but she's on the sofa, eating chocolates, drinking wine, and watching Friends. Or Gabby says a warning. Yeah, maybe a warning from her boss. Okay, what about Morag? Morag jumped the queue in McDonald's. Now, in my country, in England, jumping a queue is a very, very serious offence. If you come to England, don't jump a queue. Don't jump a queue. Just trust me on this. Get told off, we have here. That's why I love England. Yeah, you know what? If you jump a queue in England, do you know what will happen to you? People will go like this. That's called tutting. You'll get tutted at. So be careful of that. Yeah, you get a dirty look. And now what about Helen? So Helen's a Christian, but she spoke the name of another god. What should happen to Helen? Any ideas? I'm sorry, Faisal, what is meant by jumping a queue? Jumping a queue means not waiting your turn. So you have 5 people in the queue, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But this one is at the back of the queue, but he jumps the queue and now he's at the front. That's jumping the queue. Okay. Okay, so Helen, what's going to go to Helen? What's going to happen to Helen? So she broke a religious commandment, a religious rule. I'm sure you probably got the similar answers to what I wrote here. So we've got Tim is doing time. Tim is doing time. Do you see the clever play on words there? Which means that he broke a law. Beth was fired from her job. This is an ethics decision. Beth, ethics. Do you see? Clever, eh? And Morag, whose name I also forgot to change here. She was Morley before, but I changed it to Morag. She just felt a bit bad later on because she has morals. So she ate her burger and her fries, and she just felt a little bit bad. That's what happened to Morag. And Helen is going to hell because she broke one of God's laws. Okay. And again, I'll say, I'm aware that with different religions and cultures and beliefs and so on in the room, a reminder, this is just all about language learning. Okay. Okay, so maybe you agree, maybe you disagree with those sentences. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 crimes: assault, bribery, burglary, discrimination, forgery, fraud, negligence, slander, theft, vandalism. We need to try to match these up. Now, it's a little difficult to do with so many of you online, but let's try and do it this way. I'll select one of these and you tell me, you type which crime this relates to. So giving someone money to get what you want. Giving someone money to get what you want. Which crime is that? Anybody know? Giving someone money to get what you want. Go on, here you go. If somebody types the answer to my question, I'll give you, oh, I was a bit too quick with that. Ola, I owe you. I owe you £5. And this is no good now because it has the Queen on it, so it's no good anyway. So that's bribery. You're right. Giving someone money to get what you want is bribery. What about this one? Irresponsible, being irresponsible, not taking care of something or someone. Not taking care of something or someone. Is negligence. Oh, fantastic. There's a few of you there saying negligence. Very well done. We have some smart people here today. Cheating or deceiving people. Cheating or deceiving people. Begins with F, this one. It's fraud. Very nicely done. Fraud. How about not giving men and women, young and old, the same opportunities? Discrimination. Well done, Faisal. Very fast there, very quick. Oops, sorry. Let's move that there. Okay, taking things which don't belong to you. Taking things which don't belong to you. This one. It is theft. Very well done. How about stealing something from a house? Stealing something from a house. It's not robbery. No, it's a burglary. Yeah, it's a burglary. So robbery is from like a bank, for example. You could rob a bank. But sorry, there we go. Where burglary. But if you go into somebody's home, you break into somebody's home, then that would be a burglary. What about saying bad or untrue things about someone? Saying bad or untrue things about someone. I'm sure none of you would ever do that. It's slander. Well done, Bulhari. Bulhari, you seem to know a lot about crime. Wonder why that is. So I'm joking. That would be slanderous for me to suggest you're a criminal. An illegal copy of something. What's an illegal copy of something? It's a forgery. A forgery, that's right. And damaging or destroying public property. Is vandalism. Very good. Yes. And we're almost there. Physically hurting someone, of course, is assault. Now, remember, it's great that you're typing in the answers. I hope you're speaking as well. Even though I can't hear you, you should be speaking at your computer. You should be shouting me, Andy, it's bribery, it's assault, it's crime. Okay, speak out. It's a really good chance to practice your English, of course. Okay, so look at all these crimes. First question, how many have you? No. I won't ask that question. What we want to do is we want to decide which of these crimes is the most serious. Okay, so let's have a look at this chart here. We have a ranking from very, very serious at the top to not so serious at the bottom. I think it's easier to do this in terms of top, middle, bottom. Okay, very serious, serious, and not so serious, perhaps. So what would we put into the top bracket? Assault. Yeah, okay. What else would go into the top? Do you think vandalism would go in the top? No, I don't think vandalism would go in the top. Where would vandalism go? You know, you're not really hurting anybody, right? It's not good, of course, but I think that's quite a low-level crime. Again, it depends on the situation, depends on the country, depends on the culture, depends on the law. So it's only general ideas. Bribery, burglary. So we're looking at the top here. Bribery, burglary. Well, it could be. It's very, very difficult, isn't it? I'm going to put bribery in the middle. Burglary can be very serious burglary, right? Top, middle, or bottom. I'm going to put that in the middle as well. It's so difficult to do, isn't it? You need more information. How about discrimination? Where would discrimination go? Top, middle, or bottom? What do you think? Top, middle, or bottom? Yeah, burglary, that could hurt someone badly. Yeah, exactly. Discrimination at the top. Yeah, it could be. It can destroy somebody's life, discrimination. Bribery could be at the top, could be the bottom. I just bribed you with £5, right? You're going to send me to prison? Come on. So it could be at the bottom. It could be at the top. It's so difficult, right? Forgery, top, middle, bottom. I'm going to put it in the middle. Fraud. Again, it all depends, doesn't it? It's so difficult to do. But the reason why we do this with trying to rank things in order is it gets you trying to think. And what you should be doing is thinking in English about whether these offences are very, very serious or not so serious or not serious at all. Okay, it's not an exact science. Let's have a look at this next one. Now, this is serious. Are grammar mistakes a crime? I'm expecting you all to type yes, Andy, absolutely a crime. No, Gabby says no, I'm kidding. Of course, grammar mistakes aren't a crime. Yeah, never, exactly. They're not a crime at all. But are they, though? Not in an English class. It's good to make mistakes in an English class. But here's a situation where grammar could be a crime, right? Could be. Look at this advert here for some beer. This advert says, definitely the best beer in the world. Definitely the best beer in the world. Is that a crime, do you think? To advertise your beer as definitely the best beer in the world? Well, we've got a few no's there now, but have a think about it. It could be crime. Musfiq, sorry, I'm not so good on all names, I'm afraid, but Musfiq, I think you're right. Yes, it could be a crime. And what crime would it relate to? Oh, it would relate to something advertising. What would we call that? Something advertising. It's, and you're already false. Well done, gallery teachers. False advertising. And the crime to which this relates is deception. So this is a crime, false advertising. So actually, this company didn't advertise with definitely the best beer in the world. They advertised with probably the best beer in the world, and that was accepted as within the law. I couldn't tell you if it's the best beer in the world because I haven't tasted them all, so I don't really know. If anybody here has tasted all the beers in the world and wants to tell us which is the best one, then go ahead. Let's look at this. Now, we're looking at grammar. Again, I think it's really good to put things on. This is what we call a cline. If you play around with language, play around with grammar, sometimes it can be very difficult to define. But if you put things on a line, or a cline, as we call this, then you can get a feeling for the grammar, especially with these adverbs. So what we're looking at here is the ones that are much stronger at the top and then weaker at the bottom. So let's take this one, duty bound to. Duty bound to could be to do with your job, like a police officer is duty bound to do certain things. A husband is duty bound to do certain things within the marriage, right? So we all have duties. It would probably depend on the different situation again as to where this would go. So this one I'm going to put on this side. Duty bound to depends on what your duties are. But look at these other ones. Have to, should, ought to, need to, must. Use your discretion. Legally required to, obligated to, absolutely have to. Which one would you put at the top? Which one would you put right at the top? Any thoughts? Which one would you put right at the top? If you're a law-abiding citizen, you might put legally required to, but then maybe absolutely have to could be even higher than that, because maybe that goes above the law. You absolutely have to. Obligated to, I think it's a little bit lower. a little bit lower, Faisal. So if I absolutely have to do this, must and obligated to, these are quite strong as well, aren't they? These are pretty strong. And then we have should, you ought to, maybe need to will be a little bit higher. Again, it's not an exact science. What we're doing is we're playing around with language, trying to get a feeling for how to use the different levels of adverbs in speech and in communication. Use your discretion, top, middle, or bottom. To use your discretion. Use your discretion means do what you think is the right thing to do. This is going to be quite low, right? Have to. Actually, absolutely have to. I'm not even sure. I'm going to put that over here because, again, it really, really depends on who's giving you this order. You absolutely have to do something. Depends if your mother is telling you that or a police officer. But generally, have to would be a little bit lower than need and must. Okay. Should and ought to, have to, need to, must. So probably something like that. Are you okay with that? Are we okay with that? Legally required. So I'm going to put over this side as one that can change according to your beliefs and culture, I guess. Can anybody give me a sentence about law with something that you are obligated to do? Tell me something you are obligated to do. Not about the law, just something in your life that you're obligated to do. Something that you're obligated to do, something you're committed to doing. You've said that you're going to do it, and so you're going to do it. Any ideas? What about something you must do? Oh, you're obligated to feed your family. Yeah, brilliant answer, Ahmet. That's perfect. Adults are obligated to safeguard children. Yeah, really good answers there. What about if we negate these? How do we negate these? So must would be you mustn't. Need to would be you don't need to. Have to, don't have to. Ought to is a difficult one. Ought to, didn't ought to. Should, shouldn't. Obligated to, not obligated to. And so on. Okay. We're obligated to accept the local laws. Yeah. Children are obligated to take international exams. Yeah. Some really, really good answers here. Sorry, I can't read them all out. The chat box is really firing, and I just kind of glance and I read the one that I see at the time. Okay. But some great answers there. Thanks for getting involved. Let's go on to this one here. So here we have three situations here. We have rules and laws related to driving and traffic, rules and laws related to marriage, and rules and laws related to the office place. Does anyone want to give me any sentence using these adverbs about traffic? Anything to do with road safety or traffic law? Anything that you should do, need to do, obligated to, absolutely have to do, must do, and so on about traffic? I'll tell you one while you're thinking. In the UK, we must drive on the left. You must drive on the left. You're not allowed to drive on the right-hand side. Most of the rest of the world, you drive on the right, which is, of course, wrong. So that's quite interesting. It's wrong to drive on the right, because, as we know, it's very sensible to drive on the left. And I'm not joking, actually, this time. Do you know why? If in the old days, when we used to live in caves or castles, in fact, castles is a better example, the stairways always go in a certain direction, because when you're holding your weapon, I have fly spray here, it's my weapon, you hold this in your right hand and your left hand goes against the wall, right? So it's sensible to be on the left. That's why in England we drive on the left. So There you go. You've been driving on the wrong side of the road all your life, probably. Okay, can anybody think of any laws related to or obligations within a marriage? I'm sure you've got all kinds of ideas for this. And again, depending on your culture, you know, we must stay faithful to the person that we've married, and so on. And rules and laws related to work. Well, we're going to come on to ethics a little bit later on, actually, so we'll talk about that then. But if you're watching this again on a video, pause and have a think about these different rules. But for now, we're going to move on. Going to go. Yeah, we'll do this one quickly. What's happening here? Well, it begins with P, P-R-O. It's a protest. Well done, Shamila. It's a protest, and this was a protest a few weeks ago in England about the king. These people didn't want to have a royal family, so they protested. And here are 2 news articles about this topic. Let's choose the pink one. Okay, I want you to all have a look at the pink one, and here we're going to skim and scan to find the answers. Okay, so are you ready? You're not going to read the whole article, you're going to scan it for the answer. Okay, where was the woman arrested? Where was the woman arrested? Correct answer, of course, is, let me get my, let's choose a nice color highlighter pen. What should we have? Let's have, well, let's have pink to match the pink. So the woman was arrested in Edinburgh, and she was detained outside St. Giles Cathedral in Edinburgh. So very well done, everybody who got that. What did the man shout? What did the man shout? Let her go, it's free speech. But other people shouted, have some respect, because it's the king and because the queen had recently died. Who's right? Who's wrong? You don't need to answer that. That's your personal opinion. And we all have different opinions about these kinds of things. Let's move on to a bigger question. Rather than talking about the King and Queen of England, a bigger question: should you be arrested for what you say? Should you be arrested for what you say? Well, in many countries, including the country that I live in, and most countries around the world, we have free speech. But does free speech mean you can say anything at any time to anyone? No, of course it doesn't. So again, like everything, it always depends, right? Yeah, I agree, Billy, completely. Are there any situations where people should not be allowed to express their opinions and beliefs? Yeah, you should respect the boundaries. Yeah, Christina. Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. If you're in society, yeah, you need to behave in a civil way. Are there any other laws which you find contentious? So the freedom of speech, we could call it a contentious law. The word contentious means, is it likely to cause an argument? Is it controversial? Is it easy to agree with, or is it difficult to understand? This is a contentious law, freedom of speech. We all like to have it, but we can't always use it in all situations. And it would be really mean to always tell the truth. In all situations, or to tell what you say, what you feel in all situations. So it's what we call a contentious law. I'm going to show you some crazy laws now. These are not contentious laws. These are crazy laws. These are very, very old laws, okay, that used to be quite serious, but these were hundreds and hundreds of years ago, but they're still in the law books. They've never been removed. So, for example, in China, you're not allowed to rescue people from drowning. Why? Why aren't you allowed to rescue people from drowning? Somebody's fallen in the river, they're shouting, help me, and you're a really good swimmer because of population. No, it's not that, because you will also drown. That's a really good answer, actually, because you're endangering yourself by doing that. That's not the correct answer. The correct answer is, this might amaze you, the correct answer is because that would be interfering with their fate. Their fate is that they were meant to drown. And by rescuing them, you're changing their path in life. So I did say this is a very, very old law, because you can see this is kind of quite maybe an old religious, a very strong religious kind of law, perhaps. But it's still no, it's fine. I took it as a joke, but okay, so I've got some more for you here. Now, again, this is a language class. I keep having to remind you this. It's just a language class, okay? See if you can guess what these crazy laws are. And don't just think about what you think the law is. Think about what kind of word would fit in the gap here. Think about your grammar and vocabulary. What kind of word would at least make the sentence correct, even if it's not the actual law? So in New York, it's illegal for women to what in public? Pee in public. Probably, but that's not the answer I have here. It's illegal to smoke. Yes, we have a fantastic, Musfiq, well done you. In Eureka, California, men who wear mustaches, that's this bit here, are forbidden from what? Drinking beer. Should be a law for that, because they get the foam around the mustache. It's not drinking beer, Gabby. Actually, it is kissing women. Kissing women. Yes, you're not allowed to kiss a woman if you have a mustache in Eureka, California. In Cambridge, England, it's forbidden to what on the streets? Cambridge is quite a rich area where all the rich leaders live in old times. The rich people live in Cambridge. Rich people like to play tennis. And they didn't want the poor people playing tennis. And where do poor people play tennis? On the street. So in Cambridge, England, it's forbidden to play tennis on the streets. There you go. Be careful if you come to England if you're a tennis player. In Oklahoma, it's against the law to bite into what burger? Hi, Shahel. See if you can join in. It's forbidden to bite into what hamburger? Give you a moment to think. Any ideas? It's another person's hamburger. Another person's hamburger. So be careful with that. A state law in Pennsylvania prohibits what in the bath? Singing in the bath is the correct. Yeah, peeing. Yeah, but it's probably not so hard to catch somebody doing that. But singing in the bath, yes, it's illegal in Pennsylvania. On the railways in France, it is illegal to what? It's illegal to well, we got eating and smoking, so be careful here. I did remember it's we're looking at language as well, so just have a little pause a second. Have a look at the first sentence. We've got smoke, not smoking. So it's illegal to smoke, not to smoking. Forbidden from kissing, not from forbidden from kiss. So we're looking at how you end the verb here. Okay, so forbidden to play or playing. Of course, it's to play. Prohibits singing in the bath. So here it is illegal to, that's it, walk, play. Again, as long as we don't have the ing, you haven't broken any grammar laws, so I'm happy. It's illegal to kiss on the railways. Did anybody get that one? Let me see. Did anybody get that? No. So there you go. It's illegal to kiss on the railways in France. In Antibes, France, it's illegal to, again, spitting. No, because it's illegal to. So we wouldn't put to and ing together, right, Fiba? So you could illegal to spit. That would be grammatically correct. Not the right answer, though. Take pictures of. Christina, you are absolutely right. It's illegal to take photos or pictures of police officers. Well done. And the final one, in Brainerd, Minnesota, every man is required by law to grow a what? Yeah, Gabby, you're right. Christina, good guess. It's not a tree. Gabby got it. It's a beard. By law, you are required to grow a beard. So these laws, they're very old, they're very silly, but a good way to practice your English. Let me show you something a bit more modern. Some of you will recognize these characters here. Some of you will have seen them on the TV from a show called, yeah, Gabby, it wasn't a movie. It was a TV series, right? It was Breaking Bad. And then this was Saul. He was the lawyer. So here's the lawyer. And these two people in the background, if you haven't seen this TV program, these two are drug dealers. They manufacture drugs, millions and millions of pounds of drugs, which of course is illegal. And this man is their lawyer. And their lawyer is saying, with God as my witness, my clients are innocent of all charges. Okay, there are a number of issues here. What are they? What are the issues with this? We have the drug dealers, we have the lawyer, and the lawyer is saying, and he's swearing on the Bible. You can see here, he's holding his hand on the Bible. With God as my witness, my clients are innocent of all charges. Who would like to come in and discuss this with me? Who wants to come in and discuss this issue with me? I want to know what the issues are, but I need to break from speaking. So somebody come in and talk to me. Oh, sorry. I see Shahel put up a hand, but I can't see where your hand is. I'm really sorry. It's not showing on my, it's not showing up for me for some reason. Okay, I've got a separate box. Let me open that up. Sorry about this. I'm quite new to Zoom. So now I can see. Okay, now I've got the hand raised box. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But anyway, now's the hand raising time anyway, because I can bring you in. So let's bring in. So we got Billy, and I want to bring in Shahel as well, and Faisal. Can I only bring in one, or can you all come in? I'm not sure.
Yeah, come in.
So we got Billy here and Shahel. So what are the issues here?
I don't know, but I don't watch it, unfortunately.
Okay, that's okay. Billy might have
but
it.
I guess it's contraband, maybe.
Well, when I talk about the issues, have a look at this little picture here. Ethics, morality, and law. There's a little clue there. Ethics, morality, and law. There's a lot of things happening here. Billy, any thoughts what the issues are?
It's the law.
It's the law, okay, but this lawyer, he knows that his clients are guilty. He knows that they're drug dealers. So he's lying.
Mortality.
Morality. But yeah, I mean, he's lying. He knows they're drug dealers, but he's defending them. So that's not very moral, is it? But what about ethics? What about his work ethics? What's his job? Yeah, I can see in the chat here, Aisha has typed morality and ethics. Yeah, absolutely. His job is a lawyer, right? So it's his job. He has to protect his client. So he has to lie. So what do you put first, morality or ethics? What's more important? Difficult one.
Of course, it's ethics.
Of course, it's ethics. Yeah, it could be. But then some people might say, look, I can't defend you. I can't take you as a client because you're too bad. I'm going to go and defend somebody I think is innocent, whereas I know you're guilty. So morality could become more important. So for some lawyers, they're probably their morals are higher than their ethics, perhaps. Do we have any lawyers here? Musfik says morally he did wrong. Billy, do you agree with that? Morally he did wrong here by taking his clients. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. But then they also, by law, they have a right to a defense. They have a right to have somebody defend them. Somebody's got to do it, right? Let's have a look at the other issue. He says, with God as my witness, but he doesn't believe in God. He told me he doesn't believe in God, but he's saying with God as my witness. What's the issue there? Faisal, coming in, Faisal. Let me see. Faisal, coming in.
God cannot be interrogated.
God cannot be interrogated. No, that's a fair point. Go on. Do you have anything to add there, Faisal?
No, sir, I don't think any answer of that.
Okay, no, that's fine. So the issue would be if you believe in God and you say God is my witness, then it's very, very powerful. But then not everybody does believe in God. So would that be, can we trust him if he says he doesn't believe in God and he says with God as my witness? So look, a load of different things going on. Yeah, deceiving others, Shamila. Yeah, that's right. Okay, let me move on. I think the thing that we're learning here is that it always depends on all kinds of different things, right? So here's a question for you. Here's a question. You've got an important decision to make. We've got law, morality, ethics, and religion. How will your decision making be guided? So imagine you find $1,000 in the street. Okay, $1,000. I'm not asking you what your decision would be, but how would your decision be guided? Would it be law, morality, ethics, or religion? You need to decide, are you going to keep the money or are you going to return the money to a police station? Let's make those two choices. Keep the money or return to a police station. What would guide your decision making? Ethics, morality, ethics, and religion. Yeah, it could be. It could be all four of them, couldn't it? Possibly. Could easily be all four of them. Would anybody keep 1,000? Come on, be honest. We're all friends here. There's no police in the room. Yeah, Gabby, good for you. And you know, yeah, what goes around comes around. Yeah, maybe. Okay, that's $1,000. But what if you found $1 billion? This has got 9 noughts, 9 zeros, so that's $1 billion. Come on, $1 billion. $1 billion. You can change your life. Think what you could do with $1 billion. Go on.
Yeah.
You could share it with your English teacher.
Probably.
So Billy, you say what would you do?
I will take it by myself.
You keep it. Wow. And you can change your name. You need to change your name from Billy to something. John. Change it to John. And go and live in a different
country. To the other countries.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, I admire your honesty, Billy. Gabby says someone who loses this money has much more of it. Yeah, probably. It's funny though. I think, you know, if you found $1, are you more or less likely to keep it than $1 billion? Are you more or less likely? So again, law, morality, ethics, religion, it's just $1. Are you going to follow your ethics, your morals? Are you going to follow the law and return the money? Or just buy an ice cream? Can't even buy a cup of coffee for that these days. But okay, so you get the idea that oh gosh, no, we won't do that one. So law, morality, ethics, religion, it always depends, right? Or was this, people said if you pick up $1 on the street, it will bring you bad luck. Do they really say that? Oh my goodness, that explains all my bad luck I've had in my life. Okay, let's move on to a slightly different topic. Let's look at ethics now. It's really interesting. We have a number of ethics here. So I'm going to read these out for you. And then we're going to look at which of these items should come under ethics in the workplace or something else. It doesn't matter what the other thing is. So follow the company's rules and regulations. To follow the company's rules and regulations. Is that ethics in the workplace or something else? So in the chat, just type E or S. E is ethics in the workplace and S is something else. So we have Musfik and Ola, we got S and E and S. I think to follow the company's rules and regulations is an ethics. It's work ethics. It would come under ethics. How about to show initiative? Is that ethics or something else? Okay, we've got lots of S's. Oh, okay, now we've got a couple of E's. See, it's not an exact science. Most jobs, it would be something else. But I think it can be ethical to show initiative and to make decisions depending on your job. Let's leave it as something else for now because we have more S's than E's. What about develop professional relationships? E and S. Yeah, it could be. Okay, ethics. Yeah, I think most people would say ethics for this one. Yeah, I think you're pretty clear on this. Wear sensible shoes. Is that an ethical issue or is it something else? Yeah, this one's quite clearly something else, isn't it? Be at work on time. Is that ethics or something else? I think that's work ethics. If you have a good work ethic, you turn up at work on time. We could also say, if we talk about a work ethic, having a work ethic could be to show initiative, but I'm going to leave it here because most of you said something else. And I trust your judgment on this. How about we put it there? Okay, so we're all happy. Take responsibility for your conduct. Is that ethics or something else? Yeah, ethics, definitely. Respect your colleagues. Respect your colleagues is ethics. Yeah. Okay, let me open these all up. So attend all office social events after work, like go to the pub after work. Yeah, that's something else, definitely. Communicate effectively. Communicate effectively. Yeah, interesting. We've got E's and S's again for that. Again, it could be, we think that communication is something else, but actually by not saying what you see, by not communicating effectively, you could cause a big problem for somebody at work. So it could really be, in most workplaces, I would say it's an ethical thing, but let's put it in the middle because we had both answers. To uphold and promote professional standards. Yes, I think definitely ethics in the workplace. Buy your boss a birthday present. Yeah, something else. Be accountable for your actions is ethics, of course. Promote the company on your Facebook page. Something else. Oh, I'm glad we're agreeing on most of these. Just a few we're not sure on. Be honest and trustworthy is, of course, ethics. Be a good team member. Ethics again. And to speak English near the photocopier. Oh, this is really important. Yeah, it's something else, something silly, probably. Okay, you get the idea. So we've done ethics. Let's have a look at morals. Now, I have a very, very famous question for you here. And because we got Shahel, Billy, and Faisal here, well, if anybody else wants to come in and join this, you're very, very welcome to. But I'll be interested to hear from 2 or 3 people. A morality test. Let me read this for you. The Sheriff of Nottingham, that's this one here, captured Little John. That's this one here. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Little John. Oh, come on, move. Little John is here. Robin is here, and Marion, the beautiful Marion, is there. Okay. The Sheriff of Nottingham captured Little John and Robin Hood and imprisoned them in his maximum security prison. Let me just use this so you can see where I'm reading to, might make it clearer. Maid Marion begged the sheriff for their release. Please, please, please let them go, she said. She told him how much she loved Robin. The sheriff agreed to release them only if Marion spent the night with him. She agreed. The next morning, the sheriff released them. Robin at once asked Marion to tell him how she persuaded the sheriff to let them go free. Marion confessed the truth and was surprised when Robin shouted at her, calling her bad names and saying that he never wanted to see her again. At this, Little John defended her. He asked her to leave Sherwood Forest with him and promised lifelong devotion. She accepted and they rode away together. Okay, the question you have to answer is this. Who do you think did the right thing? The sheriff, Little John, Robin, or Marion? Try if you can to put Robin, Marion, Little John, and the sheriff in the right order. The right order that you consider they showed the most morality and honesty, or the least morality and honesty. There's no right answer for this, okay? There's no right or wrong, okay? It's just an interesting thing to discuss and think about. So when you're ready, you can type in the box. We have S for sheriff, L for Little John. Let's put it on one line. For Little John, R for Robin, and M for Marion. You don't have to do this, but if anybody would like to. So we've got Aisha says Little John first. Aisha, do you have a microphone? Come in and tell me why you think Little John first. Or Lit has got Robin, Little John, Miriam, Marion, and Sheriff. Who wants to come in and tell me? So Billy, you got your hand up here. Oh, sorry. So Billy, what are your thoughts then?
It is the first question. Who do you think did the right thing?
Well, the question is really is to put them in order. Can you think of who is the most moral, and the second, and the third, and the fourth? So you see if you can put them in order. Who would you put at the top as the most moral? Let's have a think about it, Billy. Let's bring in Aisha, because Aisha's already thought of her answer. Aisha, tell us your answer.
I believe Little John is at the first, because morally he understood what phase in what phase Sheriff was. Sorry, not Sheriff. It's 1 minute. Marison. Like he understands. Marison took this decision just to save them.
That's right. So you said Little John, then Marion. Is this right?
Yes.
And then what about third and fourth?
Then third is Robin. Fourth is Sheriff.
Okay, so we've got, let me just make sure I'm clear on this. Let's have a look at this screen here. So you said Little John first,
Yes.
then Marion, and then the sheriff, or Robin next?
Robin.
So Little John, Marion, Robin, and then the sheriff. Do you want to find out what this says about your profile? Would you like to find out? Okay, so let's find out, shall we? So this is you here. Now, this sentence says you are fairly broad-minded. You need to read it, but you need to change it to I am. Okay. Can you do that for me?
Okay. Can you repeat what you're saying?
Well, I tell you, how about I read it for you. Okay. Now, this is only a psychologist's idea, but it says you are fairly broad-minded, romantic, and reasonably contented. You value kindness greatly and try to live by your ideals. You do not conceal from yourself or from others your strong need for security, which may be either emotional or material.
It's true.
Is that quite true? Wow, there you go.
Yes.
Good experiment. Good experiment.
Can I answer that question?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Thank you, Aisha. Let's get somebody else. Yeah, go ahead.
And first of all, I think Little John. No,
Okay.
I think Marion,
Marion, yeah.
and secondly Little John,
Yeah.
and Robin, then Sheriff.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
Okay, so this is you, Billy. We would expect you to be a happy, well-balanced person who likes and is liked by others. You question whether many conventional views on morality are valid under all circumstances. Men, do we detect a sense of chivalry and idealism here? So there you go, Billy. I think you chose very well there. I think you got a good answer. So look,
Yeah, that's true.
you're happy with that, are you?
Yeah.
Fantastic. I'm really glad. Well, look, because we're almost out of time now. This is something that I think you can Google online. If you Google this morality test, Robin Hood, you will find this whole test online, and you can play it with your friends in English, of course. But for now, we have to kind of leave it there almost. So I just have, let me just move this a little bit closer. But thanks to listen, everyone. Thanks, especially those who came in and talked to me. But thanks everyone who posted their answers in the chat as well. And I'm sorry I can't kind of follow everything as we go. I do try, but I don't know. I'm getting old, so it's not so easy for me. But anyway, thank you for coming today. Remember to join this week's Speaking Club meeting, where you can practice what you've learned today with our qualified teachers and other learners from around the world. The next Speaking Club is on Thursday. So this Thursday at 11 a.m, hosted by Ben. Sorry, I just need to make sure I'm not sharing my screen. Am I? I really hope I'm not. I don't think I am. Okay, sorry. So Ben, this Thursday, 11 a.m. UK time. If you've enjoyed the masterclass today, visit galleryteachers.com English Masterclass for more information about the timetable and future topics. We also encourage you to join the Open Learning membership to give you access to future English masterclasses and to watch all past recordings. The next masterclass is on Tuesday, the 6th of December. I don't think it is. I think it's next. It's not. It's next week. Sorry, that's my mistake. I typed this wrong. It's next Tuesday, the same time, and we're going to do pronunciation. We're going to do vowels and diphthongs. So that's on Tuesday, the 29th of November, 11 a.m. UK time. It's a great lesson, that one. Most important English lesson you'll ever attend. So please come along. If you're not an Open Learning member yet, then sign up now to join the weekly English Masterclass and all the Speaking Club meetings. The more members we have, the more Speaking Club meetings we'll host. This is really important. There's don't miss the Black Friday offer, 60% off for 1 year Open Learning membership. 60% off. That's incredible. So there's a link in the chat room, which you can click on. And you can also join weekly small group lessons with our Step Up Learning membership, or book private tutoring with me and other native level professional and expert teachers at Gallery Teachers. To learn more, visit galleryteachers.com/learn English. And remember, please, to leave your review on the masterclass page. We'd love to hear from you. And we look forward to seeing you very soon. Hope to see you next week. Have a great week. Bye.